dfcradio.com.
Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Chefs in the kitchen and they chopping up hydro. The hydro chefs in the building and they rolling up hydro. Hydro's in the kitchen and they cooking it up. Hydro, let's go. Hydro's in the studio. Chop it up. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro.
We are in the building. DFZ Radio. Welcome, Farm to Table Cannabis. I am the hydroponic chef, your cannabis culinary ambassador to everything cooking with cannabis. Got a good show for you lined up today. I'd like to give a thank you to all of our sponsors, General Hydroponics. Thank you to the Magical Butter Machine. Thank you to Botanicare, Sunlight, everything Hawthorne. So, phone lines are open, 562-653-0707. And you can win some prizes from our good sponsors today. We're the only show offering you cannabis reviews, edible reviews, cooking demos, and all-around good vibes. And today I'd like to introduce you to our cannabis co-host for the day, Mr. Tommy himself, HDOG in the building.
Hey,
how's it going? Say what's up. That's right. We're going to get him live on the microphone by introducing him to some edibles here in a minute. From our good friend, hello, Chef Layla.
Yo, yo, yo.
And we also have the wonderful and talented Chef Jen in the studio. So we're fresh off of our cooking adventure over at Saturday Night Bites. Yeah. And gosh, I'm still coming down from the amount of cooking we were doing and having fun with all those people and networking and stuff. It's a wild industry. We're lucky enough to get to partake in speaking with people about what makes us passionate about cooking with cannabis and sharing it with people every Tuesday night on Farm to Table Cannabis. So sit back. We're going to talk about what goes on in the world of cannabis. And, there's not much has changed in the world as far as the opioid crisis. That shit's still going on. It's kind of a bummer of a subject, but it leads us kind of like right into what we're going through in the news world of it, because we like to share news with you every week, and we like to go over what's going on in the cannabis world. And you see talks about the opioid crisis, and then you hear talks about cannabis, and it kind of makes you think, like, gosh, maybe there's something here that could help. Well, this article here, written by Karen Roberts from NBC News, kind of gets pointing in the right direction. So I'm going to try to stumble through this and not cough. Amid the opioid crisis, researchers aim to put medical marijuana to the test. A cannabis initiative team at UCLA plans to conduct a high-quality clinical study on the pain-killing properties of pot and perhaps stem the opioid crisis. So, since California took the leap in 1996, 30 more states and the District of Columbia have legalized the medical use of marijuana to treat pain. Anecdotal and historical accounts of pot's pain-killing properties abound, but so far, scientific evidence that is better than traditional painkillers is hard to prove. Because of the U.S. government classifies marijuana as a Schedule I drug with no medical use, like heroin or cocaine, funding for research is hard to get. Scientists say that, and as of 2015, the article in the journal Current Pain and Head reports that points out that high-quality clinical studies of pot's effectiveness, randomized, double-blind, and placebo-controlled studies are limited. Now, Dr. Jeffrey Chen wants to change that. He says, the public consumption of cannabis has already far outpaced our scientific understanding. Director of the Cannabis Research Initiative at the University of Southern California, Los Angeles, we really desperately need to catch up. To the end, the initiative, one of the first academic programs in the world dedicated to study cannabis, is hoping to conduct a high-quality study using opioid patients. Edith London, a distinguished professor of psychiatric and pharmacology at the UCLA School of Medicine, said she has designed the study to test different combinations of THC, the principal psychoactive component in marijuana, and a cannabidiol, an anti-inflammatory component that does not get users high. In a recent interview with NBC News, London said that the study aims to find out which combination produces the most good, with the goal of reducing reducing the test subjects' pain and their use of opioids, not to mention stemming the national epidemic of opioid abuse. Opioid overdoses killed a record 42,000 Americans in 2016, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Although illegal drugs like illicitly manufactured fentanyl and heroin account for some of those deaths, 40% involve prescription opioids, the CDC says. So, Alex Jordan and Robbie Pinameno have suffered chronic pain since they were both involved in serious car accidents. Both were addicted to OxyContin and were prescribed OxyContin, morphine, and were available to push the button whenever they needed, to reduce the pain. They said they refused the prescription for opioids knowing that they are highly addictive. I turned to cannabis in lieu of pills, and I never turned back. And they also go on to say that both now work at a 777, a marijuana dispensary in Los Angeles, and they said the average age of customers at some of their stores is 40 to 45. I see families that come together, shop for pain relief, and they think that people are opening up their eye to the fact that this isn't just an evil drug to prevent pain. It's actually something that's going to help with pain. Some researchers have been improving and seeing encouraging results in one of 2 to 5 year studies published in the April Journal of the American Medical Association. Researchers found that the states with medical marijuana laws had about 6% fewer opioid prescriptions among medical patients compared to with states without such laws. The second study, which looked at medical Part D patients, found a drop of 8.5% in such prescriptions in the medical marijuana states. But the study could not determine whether the people in those states were switching from opioid prescription to medical marijuana use. So it's unknown whether the medical marijuana availability can help stem the opioid epidemic. Now, what they go on to say, they want to have a study that's not just for cannabis or against cannabis, but some actual truth in the science. And that's really what's needed. It has to be a non-biased opinion. And that way, you know that the results from this pain relief study is really to help people, or if we were just trying to get high off of it. But we all know at the end of the day, cannabis has a lot of pain relieving effects.
Oh, yeah.
Time to prove that stuff. It's time to let the science catch up with the medicine, man.
Yeah.
The
I
medicine
agree.
man. I dig that.
Church.
So that's why we're here. We're helping you navigate through your medical cannabis needs. And while I hit this joint from HDOG, what are we smoking on, HD?
The triple XOG.
That triple X, that award-winning triple XOG.
Yeah.
You know, just a little something. So, cue the news music. Let's take them to school. Do you got any school music?
No.
No, like some School of Hard Rock.
Or like, I don't know, some Jeopardy or something.
I got Jeopardy. What's up?
There it is. There we go. So let me ask you this: is this there's nice white ash? So is it cocoa grown, soil, hydro? What do you got going on here?
It was grown in cocoa. And,
Grown in cocoa.
Yeah. I got a run sponsored by General Hydroponics.
Ooh, shout out to GH. They're one of our
Yeah.
sponsors too. Very generous company. Very generous company. Now tell me, in the cocoa, what's your preferred size for pots when you're going?
I like growing
Look
big trees in small pots. Yeah.
More water, more
Yeah,
food.
More frequent watering, but,
So what do you do to help build that root base in that cocoa?
keeping the pots small, I don't really have to do much to keep the roots going.
I suppose you would have that issue when you have a smaller pot like that. Now, control products. What do you use for pest control? We're putting you to the test while we look at your
I don't
white
use
ash.
any pest control at all. We don't use IPM inside the garden at all. I believe that if you keep healthy plants inside your veg, you don't need to do any of that.
And that way you don't have to put pesticides into the air.
No pesticides, no fungicides.
All right. I'm sorry you didn't answer in the form of a question. We'll play next time, HDOG. All right. So we're here with Canna Chef Jen. We've got Canna Chef Layla. We're going to take a bite out of these Layla cookies here in a minute, but we're going to play some music. We're going to pay some sponsors, and if you call in 562-653-0707, you just might win a magical butter machine or a sample from one of our good sponsors over at General Hydroponics and Botanicare. Farm to Table Cannabis, DFZRadio.com.
We only smoke cigarettes and strictly share. Oh!
It's all about that. Mary Jane. Hey. You know what? I'm a savage. Yep. I'm yawning 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm breaking out the bag of weed. I break it up, then I'm rolling. Yep. fuck it, I'm jonesing. Waking, baking, I'm stoning. If there's a girl in the bed rolling, yeah, fuck it, I'm boning. Yeah, oh yeah, okay. Lighting trees up till smoke, okay. I'm puffing on the best, you just smoking some shit, that's just okay. Okay, yeah. You go smoke that, hey, I'm alright. I'ma smoke that high grade every day. I know still high grade when me smoking. They must see things say a joke thing when me alla, me alla, me alla, me alla. I know still high grade when me smoking. They must see things say a joke thing when me alla, me alla, me alla, me alla. Give me that good. Call the risk, call it the fucking butterfucker. Jabba base on the base. Straight from Cali FedEx. I'm like, hold up, what's next? I'm smoking so much I got a motherfucking pain in my chest. yeah. Going bananas, I roll a couple, spit them motherfuckers look like bananas. Yeah, Cooper bananas, I'm trees, ocean, savannas. I'm living life, plus a couple bricks that shot for me, nanas. I'm talking about high grade when me smoking. They must see things say a joke thing when me all a burn me ganja vibe, burn me ganja vibe, burn me ganja vibe, burn me ganja vibe. High grade when me smoking. They must see things say a joke thing when me all a, me all a, me all a.
Now, Tuna, I asked you, is there such thing as that, my G?
What's that?
I mean, I'm getting high right now in the booth, man. Yeah, I'ma pass that to you. I mean, I've been getting high all day, all night. Right.
I get high like there ain't no tomorrow. Figure my life without weed, pure sorrow. Wake up in the morning, still high from last night. Hazy ass eyesight, made my way to the swisher. 10 blunts up in one session. Teach weed lessons to beginners. Have you seen double? Smoke one for the lost cause. Cause I feel like I'm on Mars. The more inhale, the more that I see stars. Might scribble out a few balls. I go hard, don't smoke with them niggas who go guard. Got my own sack, fiends rolling in the back door. Move on, no light, we gon' fight. My appetite for Mary Jane is alright. Meeting with my dudes and we go smoke all night. And smoking it on site. Me and Charlie Tuna, new cheats and charms.
Man, I know what you mean, dog. It is a such thing as being high enough, though. I'm saying that it's like can't just keep smoking and just smoking. At a certain point, man, you don't get high no more. You know what I mean? Yeah. We said, Cheech and Chong, monument. Freaking the song, puffin' reap a long time coming. Roxy, man, 50 in a long line forming. If you inhaling, I'm knowing you can smell what I'm blowing. I exhaling, I'm glowing, dog, vivid. My chest full like I got my breasts augmented. Used to smoke stress, now it's that dispensary designer stuff. Swish at least the fire, never. Yes, sir, of the best herb. I'm a gangstar when I manifest words. Whether hydroponic monitors or fresh dirt. I left work, now I'm puffing till my chest hurt. Yes, uplifting and such, known for ripping it up. But please don't ask me to piss in the cup. And never ask me if I would like a snip or a huff. I twist the split and I puff until I'm.
Yeah, Charlie Rock. There's a lane. Y'all already know I smoke, man, a whole forest up tree, man. I stay inhaling, brethren, incredible, holding incriminating evidence. My original black essence come from crack selling to the Dakia smooth selling.
Launch crew, ready to reservoir.
What's the load factor, sir?
Bring in the Riser Blast liquid at 2 mils per gallon.
Okay, sir. We are loaded and ready to launch.
10, 9.
Okay, men.
7,
it's time to blast 6, off into the
5,
plant's root zone
4,
and into
3,
another galaxy
2,
of root growth.
1.
Rhizoblast is a proprietary blend of seaweed and the single-celled algae chlorella. Chlorella's abundance of amino acids and minerals contribute to its value in hydroponics. The benefits used in Rhizoblast are explosive root growth, the use with any growing medium or hydro system, its ideal use for transplanting, and the enhancement of your plant vigor in fast-flowering plants. Let your plants have a blast and see a world of a difference with Rise of Blast from Botanicare. Check it out at www.botanicare.com.
Yo, it's BKJ on Team King, and you listening to DFZ Radio. What?
DFZRadio.com.
Ay, I want a lot of things in this life. I want some things money can't buy. Like a girl who gon' keep it solid. Yeah. Like a girl who gon' need me one who gon' hold it down.
What do you mean, Saint? Eminem killed MGK on that song. I knew you were an MGK fan, fool.
Nah, hey, don't put those words in my mouth.
This trapper die over here. Listen
I did
to
not
him.
say that. That was allegedly.
I'm just playing.
He gonna get it.
Oh shit! I fucking feel anyone's.
Hey, that's good though. It's good for hip hop.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we love it. That's all. That's all we do. We're the ones that win off it.
Right.
So welcome back, Farm to Table Cannabis, DFZRadio.com. We're in the studio. We got Canna Chef Jen. We also got, what do you call you? Stoned Layla, Chef Layla, Chef Stoned LA.
Call me whatever you want.
All right, I'm gonna call you not high enough.
Point anyways.
There we is. So we're doing our thing last week, and I had a cancellation on a babysitter, and my wife was not able to come out to the Hitman Coffee Shop, and I was like one man down, and I was like, what am I gonna do? And luckily, Stoned LA, you took the call, Layla. We appreciate you coming out and helping out last week, and
most definitely.
We had some extraordinarily talented people in the room with us that night, and Chef Jen, you happen to be one of them. So, what did you think of that Hitman Saturday Night Bites event?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of, like, for me, I did not expect, I was coming from Orange County, so for me it was a lot of rush and a lot of traffic, and as soon as I walked in, getting set up, and you know, it was really cool how everybody kind of came together and helped everyone out. And
it was not a competition.
No.
That was the cool thing. It's not a cooking competition.
No,
when you come to Saturday Night Bites, you get to see each one of the chefs in a cool, mellow atmosphere where you're bringing what you want to bring to the table without being rushed in like a 30-minute competition, like when me and Miss Layla had to go up against the other chefs in the Canna Chef Showdown, which we'll talk about in a minute. But
it
some
was
of the
cool how we all were able to collaborate.
Yeah, and we all helped each other carry everyone's stuff in. There was no sabotage or anything. But don't let me catch you at a cooking event, guys. I'm the worst.
He is,
you guys,
actually.
The worst in the competitive sense of the word. Now, there were some cool guests in the house that night.
Yeah.
We had some of the crew in the building from the old Viceland TV show Bong Appetit, and Abdullah was in the building. And we also had... Coleslaw playing music, the band,
that was so
and
good.
then
so awesome.
DJ Joash, and he was killing it too. So, man, I say if the next event that Cannabis Catered Events is planning is anything like that last event, you're in for a good treat, and that's in the work. So, what did you serve that night?
So I did.
Because we all threw our menu out there, but we all made last minute adjustables because that's what we do.
Yep.
Chefs inspire each other, and then they get all into it.
So I did a smoked baby back rib with a dry rub, and I made it over a Brussels sprout slaw with a citrus vinaigrette, and then I served a elote Mexican corn salad next to it.
Nice. Now you had some like southwestern meets like almost like some Asian Texas theme going on.
Fusion.
Yeah. I dig
but
it.
It was good. Yeah,
and then Rudy did his ever so popular lumpias. I wish Rudy was here to talk about that. That was on another level.
Very
and
nice.
then how about that melon or cucumber soup? Or it wasn't a soup. It was like a cold gazpacho. That Cannabis Catered. I mean that Cannabis Supper Club did.
That was pretty good. And
I even ruin his name when he's not here. Cannabis Catered Events just flows right off my tongue. Give me a soundbite. Ding ding. I'm just fucking a control freak, just having fun. So,
but no, all the food was good, and it was a lot of fun.
And I think I even seen some people cutting the rug later when the music started playing. So they had a DJ and a live band. So good time. Thank you, Hitman Coffee Shop. Now, for the food, I asked you last appearance what got you into cooking, but I'm going to ask for anyone that's listening again. You know, what got you into cooking with cannabis, and how did this all start?
Originally, it started with private clients that I work for, and their interest in wanting cannabis in their food, and I just started exploring it and looking at, like, wow, like, this is my passion. Cooking is definitely, you know, I love it. And to be able to incorporate a magical ingredient, nonetheless, to help those who are in need medicinally, it's a win-win.
That's it.
So,
I dig it. All right.
Yeah.
Now, we had some food served there, Layla, didn't we?
We did. We had a couple delicious treats over there. I always mess up the name. I'm going to mess it up. Spicy
Arancini.
Arancini. There we go.
Yep.
And, those are delicious.
When we got a caller, we're going to take this one right on the line right now because it looks like they called and got hung up. Saint, we're good.
That one?
Yep. DFZ Radio, thanks for calling in. DFZ Radio, you're on the phone with the Hydro Chef, Canna Chef Jen, and Layla.
Hi, Hydro Chef. This is Canna Mommy on the go. I was on hold, but I got disconnected for the second time from my phone.
Oh, that's what I would say, too. People are hot to trot. They want those magic butter machines. They want those General Hydroponic samples.
I swear. Plus, I was saying, hi, Layla.
Hey.
Oh, shit.
How you doing,
She got her
Dee?
own callers now.
I'm famous.
So, Chef Mom, or excuse me, Canna Mama.
Canna Mommy, yes.
What you got a question for us this evening?
Yeah, I wasn't able to get to the bite tonight with things going on, but I heard a lot of good things about it. Now, one of my questions to you is, have you redone the same dish you did for us at the Canna Chef Showdown?
No, I haven't redone that one yet. No, Rudy redid his dish, and I was inspired by that because I didn't think about, like, you know, rolling with the same thing twice because it really does kind of give you a little bit of a theme for your cooking. So Rudy's known as the Filipino chef. I might be known as the white guy cooking Thai food, medicated Thai food. Yeah, that was a good event, and you know, it's funny you brought that event up too because Layla she placed in the first event that was the preliminaries to that event.
I did against Chef Rudy.
And she was going up against Chef Rudy, and that's a tough one to go up against right there. So we might have to get her displaying at one of these Saturday Night Bites events up here in the future.
Let me know.
So do you do any gardening yourself, Canna Mom?
Gardening?
Yeah.
I have not done any gardening. I want to, but I haven't been able to build it in the new place.
I hear you. Well, we're going to get you hooked up, and if you source your own ingredients, you can use it in your new magical butter machine that we're going to give you on behalf of the magical butter team out there. So thanks for listening to the Farm to Table Cannabis Show on DFZ Radio. Thanks for supporting Miss Chef Layla over here, and thanks for supporting Chef Jen and us at the next Farm to Table Saturday Night Bites by Cannabis Catered Events. And you stay tuned. We'll have the links in our bio, and you can buy tickets and come eat and dine with us and talk about cannabis quality products. We got another caller coming in right now. We're going to get to them, and we'd like to wish you a good evening. You shoot us your address, and we'll get you that sent out to you.
Will do. Have a good night, you guys.
Thank you, Canna Mom on the go.
Bye.
Good night.
All right. So we just hooked up another listener, and you can get hooked up too. All you got to do is call in 562-653-0707. We got some sample products from our good sponsors over at Botanicare, General Hydroponics. So call in. We'll get you hooked up. So, Layla, where were we before Chef Canna? Oh shoot, we can't even hang up phones around here. There we go.
Well, we were at our spicy arancini.
Arancini, yeah. So that's an Italian-style rice dish that we rolled in spicy Cheetos.
Yes,
that was funny.
And, the bacon, it kind of set everything off.
Yeah, it set everything off, but everyone was a little weirded out because they thought it was dessert. we had a hard time there. People bit into this thing and they thought it was red velvet cupcake, and it was a spicy Cheeto bacon rice ball. So yeah, fair warning. If you see my food, just know I do savories. I don't do a lot of sweets. So if it looks like it might be a sweet, it ain't. It's probably a rice cake or some other infused Italian
Jerome
dish.
ate all the rest.
Dude, Jerome goes ham on all food.
Yeah, he loves it.
He's my second favorite co-host. Next to my friend over here. Tommy, you're still here, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Roll us another blunt and get us as lit as you are. Damn. So, who's this who just walked in? Is this Chef Sus herself?
I believe it is.
All right. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to try some of Susney's brownies and some of Layla's cookies, I think. And then we're going to talk about what's going on next in the world of cooking with cannabis. DFZ Radio. We got some callers. Thanks for your patience. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
So if you wanna catch a groove, wanna feel the siren vibe, I said just rock and come in, you know, said the vibe is right. Yeah. So bring your queen, I tell yourself loud the machine tonight. Yeah. Cause it's a funky reggae party, and we feel the vibe. Yeah. It's a long time, I know dance like this. It's a long time, I know groove like this. We sing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, alright. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. We sing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, alright. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. So if you wanna catch a groove, wanna feel this high vibe, I said just rock and come in, you know I said the vibe is right. Bring your queen, I tell yourself loud the machine tonight. Cause it's a funky reggae party, and we feel the vibe. Oh, it's a long time, I know dance like this. It's a long time, I know groove like this. We sing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. We sing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Alright. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Oh, we singing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Yeah. Na 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 na. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Say na na na. Oh, yeah. It's a long time, I know dance like this. It's a long time, I know groove like this. We sing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, alright. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh.
DFCRadio.com.
All right.
Yo,
Yeah, let me get this out. All right, that's out. That's out. Hold on, wait. All right, now it's out. So, nice dabbing with you all. Welcome back to To Table Cannabis. I am the hydroponic chef. We're hanging out here with Chef Susney now. Welcome, Chef Susney's in the building now. She was helping us out. And then we got some cookies from Stoned LA. And Chef Jen, you brought the beer.
Burr.
Gotta have beer, gotta have cannabis cookies. And I'm fresh back from the High Life Music Festival, you guys.
Ooh.
I was hanging out there this weekend. Thank you to Burning Bush Co-Cow. Those guys hooked me up with some press passes, we'll call it. I got to walk around and check it out. Day one's very packed, lots of people. Day two, not so much. Day one, a little bit of problems with the music act. Game came out and no sound. But and then they got the sound fixed. I hear that didn't work out too good but hey, good times all around. Still good vendors out there. Again, Burning Bush Co-Cow was there. I ran into Miss Rad Reefer. She was hanging out doing her thing. Gotta always support the folks over at Mystery Baking Company too. Go follow those guys. Those fuckers deleted their Instagram again. Those fucking bastards on Instagram, please. Yeah. I mean, we got to sign that petition too. There's a petition out there to
cannabis.
Yeah, you got to stop hating on cannabis on Instagram. It's getting ridiculous. You know,
yeah.
I'm next.
Come
you
on,
know?
it's legal.
I'm next. Hopefully, I'll have something to do Tuesday nights. But High Life was good times. Irie was out there. We play a lot of music on this show from IMG Music. So thank you to Ineffable Music Group. They give us the tunes you hear every week. You can check them out. They're all over iTunes. Type them in on Pandora, and they got good tunes, man. That's what you get to hear every commercial break when we're not belching into the microphone. So with nothing less to do, let's eat some of these cookies.
Oh, we already did. I think you're the only one who has.
I'm the only one here not getting medicated.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'll do like Badass Jay says. I'm higher than most of you. So, what the fuck am I eating?
We have a oatmeal chocolate chip cookie with almonds.
How'd you infuse this?
I infused them with butter.
Canna butter.
Canna butter. That one is purple papaya.
I ain't even mad at you for this. This has no weed flavor at all.
Mm-hmm. No.
Everyone knows the Canna chef doesn't do a lot of his own edible eating, you know?
Yeah.
Whenever the hydro chef's at these events and they pass me cookies and stuff, a lot of them end up going to my loved ones.
Right,
or,
friends.
You know,
That's like, hey, I got some edibles for you.
And I'll always give you a shout out on Instagram, but that doesn't mean I ate it.
Yeah, no, I feel the same, and that's.
And if it's good enough, I might even give it to my mama. Mom, the shit's safe. Try this. You'll love it. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yep.
One time, my mom was on a good one, and I laced her cigarette with some hash oil. I just pulled some random cool out of a box. I was like, man, why is she still fucking smoking? 2 years old, still smoking cigarettes. Let's just rub a little bit of hash oil on there. Mm-hmm. Put it right back in for that random fucking cannabis roulette. So, what got you cooking with cannabis, Miss Layla? And when the hell are we going to get to finish this square off from the Canna Chef Showdown? Because Sydney, I mean, me and you, we went up against each other.
We did.
And then she went up against Chef Rudy.
Chef Rudy.
And then that was just like the preliminary round. We never got to have a finishing round.
This is what is going to need to happen. Chef Sus and Chef Rudy are going to have to face off, and we're going to have to face off. And I guess, I don't know where that's going to go, because then I feel like from there we need like another battle, but like it has to be like a fair fight, you know?
Yeah.
It has to be like a... You know, you get the little tournament board going, and everybody's
on
there. We got the different. We got
to have the playoffs and then the finals.
Yeah, exactly. So we will make arrangements for all of this to happen.
So where's your food influence come from? What got you into it? What kind of food you cooking?
Well, I'm a little bit of everything, as you can see. Not really a big sweets person, but every now and then, you know, you gotta do something different. Last night I just really wanted cookies, so that's how that came about.
That's a good idea.
Other than that, like as far as cooking, I've always liked cooking, helping my parents at home, kind of alleviating the stress of cooking, this and that, sparked the passion, wanted to go to culinary school, pursue my own business. And after moving out here, I've
Well, you
only
went to
been
culinary
here.
school.
I did.
Give a shout out to your alma mater.
Like Cordon Bleu, they are no longer open, so they probably don't even hear this anymore. But yeah,
Where at?
Pasadena. I moved out here actually to go to that school from Texas, and everybody's like, "Well, why didn't you go to the one in Austin?" Or there's a couple others out there, but I just wanted to try something
California
new, different. Yeah, try something different
and the city of Pasadena.
Yeah, so the probably most expensive city I probably could have picked to go to school in from coming from one of the cheapest states. Not really my smartest move, but I made it happen. And after culinary school, I was kind of working and doing food and started going to cannabis events and stuff like that. And I realized there's nothing but sweets everywhere. Where's the food? Regular food you can just eat without feeling like
you're gonna
your
get diabetes.
teeth are gonna fall out, or know, before the end, and you're just full off of sugar, and you're just really hungry after it all. So I just kind of started making different stuff at home: pasta, salad, just
favorite
regular
infusing technique.
Flour, just flour and butter or oil or anything. But for me, I've done concentrates and different things like that with the edibles. But for me, even smoking, it's nothing like good old flour. So just sous vide, jar, butter, water.
Well, let's go into sous vide for a minute too, because I have no training and no experience cooking sous vide. I used to say it wrong. I used to pronounce the D on accident.
No, honestly, I had a little bit of the French background in high school, taking that you had to pick your language, so I kind of knew the silent there. But
you think you're better than me?
No, because I
listen to her. We must have a chef showdown.
No, I had no experience with the sous vide myself, honestly. Chefs in culinary school, they kind of briefly touched on this is the cooking technique. One of the chefs did it in school, but we never really went in depth with it. And I was kind of reading just about cooking, and I hate dry food. So for me, cooking chicken or cooking steak, it's kind of risky in the pan sometimes. And without, if you don't want too much color, or, you do want to cook with butter or things like that, you kind of got to be careful. So I wanted to explore different options. And I went on OfferUp and found me a sous vide machine. And because they were, they're not super pricey. You can get a good one cheap, but I kind of did a little research, and I was like, yeah, for something I don't know what I'm doing, I don't really want to shell out that much money. So I got one for $50 and read the little books, found some recipes, and just started experimenting.
Because this is not something they go into depth in culinary school, like you
they
said.
Don't. They don't go into depth on really anything in culinary school. It's
one of my favorite guests, I forget where he works now, but he was like, I was like, what's the best thing you could recommend to a chef? He's like, don't waste your time on culinary school.
Yeah, if I would have known, if I would have known,
saved me a couple racks.
Job, right? Those student loan phone calls right now, they probably wouldn't be calling me harassing. So
now, Jen, we're asking some of her sous vide preferences. Have you ever cooked with this technique? And do you have any recommendations on things you like to do and how you like to infuse using it?
I love sous vide. I actually don't use, sous vide for infusing. It is a good idea, actually, in regards to making your butter and some of the oils. It keeps a consistent temperature.
The one thing, of not dry, these are moist. That's why.
Yeah, these cookies are really amazing.
Like a thing of peanut butter with a thing of canna butter.
But the thing is with sous vide, it leaves food colorless. So if you want a perfect medium rare filet, you're going to get that perfect temperature, nothing, more, not 1 degree. You're going to get it on point. But, you got to pan sear it real quick too.
So let's get down to technique and teach Hydro Chef, because I'm Hydro Chef and I never cook with
right,
your water.
Right, you're not cooking with the water.
So
interesting.
How many... you want a rolling boil? Do you want a heavy boil? Is it high?
It's not even boiling at this point. You're setting your temperature.
It's low.
So the internal temperature for a medium rare is around 125 degrees, right?
Not for beef.
It's like 145 or something.
All right, whatever. I like mine blue.
Okay, but what is it, -Celsius?
But so you
Fahrenheit?
put your temperature of what you want your
You
finished
set
product
it.
at and just drop her in.
Yeah.
Yes, you're gonna set your timer. You're gonna set
Get
the temperature.
enthusiastic like you're selling like the slap chop.
Yeah, no, honestly, like I was on a like when I first got
Set
the
it
thing,
and forget
I was
it.
on
There
a,
it
like
is.
I was like I was on a kick. I was just like, I'm cooking on the countertop and I'm washing dishes while I'm doing it. Like it really does. Like for certain things, it is convenient and it isn't convenient depending on what you're doing.
It's fail-proof, really,
Yeah.
at the end of the day. I mean, it is risky to do stuff in the pan, but
So what I like watching is the Herbal Chef. Shout out to Herbal Chef. That guy's so inspiring.
Chris and
He'll-
Gary, they're amazing.
He'll do the sous vide and then all of a sudden he'll just pan sear it at the end.
Yeah,
And
because
it's
you
just
have
like-
to add that flavor. You got to add that color.
But
Like
the way he's doing it with the herbs and the oils and just to
Mm-hmm.
get the color and the flavor, I'm just tripping on that super inspired stuff. So, yeah, that's the next technique. I think we'll come up with the Hydro Chef sous vide machine.
No, yeah.
There you
it's
go.
easy
How many of you guys
concept.
would pay for that in DFZ Radio listener land? A whole two of you. Okay, thanks guys. two hearts on Instagram. Fuckers, like my shit. So we're gonna have to take one more commercial break. We're gonna come back and do the cooking demo. We're gonna talk to Chef Sus over here
Chef
about her.
Sus.
I know it's just so suspect that you call yourself Chef Sus.
Gotta keep it real.
All right, that's it. There she goes. We're gonna play some music. We're gonna come back and talk to her about some of her confections and some of her awesome brands out there. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis.
Hope you go free.
We're back, DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis. So we got some callers, man. Before we go to any more edibles and shit, let's take this call. What's up, Chef Life? Thanks for calling in, Farm to Table Cannabis.
I'll hit it one more time.
Let's try this one more time.
There you go.
What up, Chef Life? Thanks for calling in.
There we go. I can hear you better.
Where are you calling from?
Central Valley, brother.
There we
Give
go.
a shout out to High Tech Hydro.
High Tech Hydro.
Yep. Central Valley, baby.
Attaboy. We appreciate the support in the hydro world. So what's your question, gardening or cooking?
Cooking, actually making butter and how to get that taste of cannabis out of your edibles.
Well, lucky for you, we have 4 chefs at this round table and 1 really big pothead. So look at him. He's so happy.
That's why I called in, because I knew, you know what I mean?
All right,
this
now
is the best time to get the question answered that I need.
Chef Sus, I've had some of your products before. They're not super overly powerful, but they do taste a little bit like cannabis. If you didn't want to do that, did you have a technique you used?
I do. Back when I was doing some research, there is actually a YouTube tutorial by Jeff, the 420 chef. And what he suggests doing is blanching your cannabis before you decarbate. And so basically what you're going to do is you're just going to boil it in hot water. I know it's scary.
Really? Weird.
To just
So
throw
basically
the
like
cannabis.
you're doing green beans or broccoli or whatever you're cooking with, right? Because I'm a chef as well, so I know the technique.
Now we got 5 chefs on the line now. This is the ultimate chef Voltron unit, dude. We all just formed one super chef. Ultra chef. So blanching the cannabis, huh, Sus?
Yep, and it's pretty cool when you're done and you drain your cannabis out. The water is so gross.
But would you save that water and do something with it, or?
No, you get rid of the water.
Your THC or no?
No.
You're gonna lose a little psychoactivity of for sure, just like you would if you were like making the hash and the hash water and shit. But what you lose in the psychoactivity, you're losing some of that flavor, which is also what you were looking for, was to take some of that flavor out.
Yeah, I guess that makes it even. So basically, if you have your outdoor and you wash it, like some people say, because it's outdoor, and you rinse it in a bucket or whatever with like lemon juice or whatever they say online, you lose some of your terps too, but your cannabis is clean. So it's
Well,
the
I
same
think that's a
technique as there,
completely.
right?
I think that's a different technique. That's not necessarily for cooking, is it?
No, I just meant in general.
Some people would clean.
cannabis.
Some people would clean their cannabis with using a lemon water soak in extreme instances of like maybe mold or
dust
or smoke
in their environment. Yeah.
Smoke. But I mean, everyone in this room will definitely say I will not partake in any cannabis that has been pre-rinsed and then rolled up and smoked. If it's rinsed and then turned into an edible, totally acceptable, right? We'll get down with that. But if you hand me some wet seaweed kelp looking shit, nah, bro, I just washed it, fool.
Okay, well, shit. Well, back to the question. You said blanch it. You're talking about like 30 seconds, real quick. Just dip. And
Yeah, what's
put
the
it in ice water
tutorial
or
for?
back
I
into
believe
your
it's
butter?
about 2 minutes. If you go on YouTube and look up Jeff the 420 chef light tasting.
No, we
canna
want
butter.
answers. Saints pulling it up now. Watch, we're gonna pull a tutorial up here in a minute. Hope you don't sue us. Now, what about you, Chef Layla? She don't care because her product don't taste like weed already, so she don't have to.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't want to say I got lucky or what, but I flower infused, and I've just never had an issue with anybody saying anything about the cannabis taste. And like I said, I do the sous vide method in hot water in a mason jar with just the butter, and infuse that for a couple hours. And similar method any other flower infusion would be. I'm just not sure.
What do you say, Jen?
If you put your can of butter in a jar like you do olive oil, and you put butter in there, that's the same thing as sous vide, isn't it? If you keep it at a certain temperature?
Yes.
In a pot?
Yes.
Well,
exactly.
maybe
So you don't
try
even
that.
necessarily need a sous vide machine unless, like,
Right.
as long as you could keep your
That
water, like, at,
temperature.
a steady temperature.
Yeah.
So even, like, a crock pot, you know, you could get away with, like...
I tried my crock pot. That shit boiled crap out of it.
Yeah, I would probably
butter
recommend like
machine.
maybe
I
like
woke up the next day, it was all brown and crap. I was like, oh man. But hey, it came out good. You know, the end product it got you what it needed to do, but it didn't taste great. You know what I mean?
See. Well, you maybe want to try also. How long are you infusing? Maybe less time.
That was gonna.
I usually do, whatever, a couple zips of whatever I have laying around, and a few pounds of butter. I usually do a zip per pound of butter, and 2 hours usually, and just let it slow boil, like on the simmer, on a double boiler.
Cut that time in half, dude. The psychoactivity's happening in the first hour.
And do you decarb your weed?
I don't. That's the thing. I was asked another question I was asking about. Like, I just asked Hydro Chef, do you decarb your weed in the oven first? Does it make I'm gonna ask you now. Does it make a big difference to decarb it first?
I decarb my weed, so I would say it would be a good theory to test.
If you think that you're getting a lot of flavor in there and you're not decarbing it, I would try decarbing it and seeing if that cuts a little bit of the flavor. Then from there, you're gonna cut the cooking time in half. Try cutting that cooking time in half, but don't do it the first time. First, try decarbing it first and see if you get your optimum out taste.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
and then basically decarbing, you throw it in the low oven, right? And you grind it up to what you want, and then lay it flat, decarb it, throw it into your butter. Then
simple. And you know what? Also, since we're talking about washing it, the ice hash is probably one of the real preferred ways to infuse because it's really clean. You are washing the flour and you're getting the extract and all the impurities are getting washed out. And if you're using good RO water too, you're getting all that nastiness out. So that's a great way to infuse is with the ice water hash, and you'll get a lot less of the flavor. And that's something you can do at home.
Online, so.
And I don't want to tell you to get into some volatile solvents or anything, but distillate and other extracts and
I'm
stuff.
not sure about all that. That's why I'm just a older cat that just likes to eat his cookies and stuff. So
well, how about some home?
I throw that on my barbecue. I'll put in the potato. I'll throw a big old thing of canna butter on there.
And how about some home rosin press too? A home rosin press would be a great way for you to infuse at home too.
Shit, I would love one of those.
We got to get a sponsor out there. Name your favorite rosin press. We'll holler at them.
It's just the rosin press right there on IG that I always see. I think it's just called the rosin press.
Shout out to Rosin Industries. All right, so
and the magic butter machine, man.
And the magic butter machine, brother. And dude, you're doing good. Thank you so much for calling in. We're gonna hook you up with a magic butter machine, man. It's very rare that we can do 2 in one episode. Someone's gonna be missing out next week, but dude, we gotta take care of our chefs, dude. So thank you for calling in. Farm to Table Cannabis. Who's hooking you up every Tuesday night, 5 p.m.?
The Hydro Chef, man. I'm gonna do a big shout out, dude. That's
goddamn right.
Legit, man.
All right. Thank you for calling in, Chef Life, man. You send me your information on the DM, and I'll get that sent out to you from those great guys over.
Have it, but I will do that again.
Oh yeah, that's right. We sent you out some Prevacin too. You're like the ultimate caller.
I'm a big time caller, brother. So I love the show. I love.
Don't forget about Wednesday nights.
And the ladies.
DFZ Radio, the Heavy Tea Grow Show. You can call in and get hooked up too, everybody. DFZ Radio,
too, man. They're great shows, guys. Hey, thank you very much, and man. The butter machine, I'm going to put that thing to work.
Thanks a lot, Chef. Ciao.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, guys. So I would have said this was a very educational show, but I'm super stoned now because of these cookies and all these dabs, so it's just good. It's probably going to go downhill from here, guys. I got a cooking demo to play for about 8 minutes. You can sit back, relax, and learn how to do some Thai chicken lettuce wraps because I didn't do the Thai peanut sauce, which I should have because everyone's requesting it now.
That was really good.
All right, so let's do it. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis, the cooking demo.
Cause I always got that 425. Man, I got so high I couldn't even drive. Look at what I did by 25, nigga. Dizzy OG think I we alive. Cause I always got that 425. You know I got it. I always got that 425. You know I got it, nigga. You know I keep that 425. Blaze one with me then. Dizzy OG think I we alive. Hey, Dizzy OG all up in my paper. Hey, but is he right about to run for mayor? Whoa. Started my label, now they think I'm giving out favors. Too bad, a couple niggas that I used to fuck with turned into haters. one. Seeing through these fools, mad cause I make their girlfriend booty move. With my G-ways, I'm just too damn cool. Nigga, what life do to you? Ayy, looking mad at me. I be smoking, I be mad happy. I don't really worry about these niggas that be making comments, throwing jabs at me. Dab hat, feeling dab happy with the 425. Ayy, I love Vegas for the 24/7 side. You can see that I
always got that 425. Man, I got a vibe. Man, I got so high I couldn't drive. Couldn't even drive. Look at what I did by 25. 25, nigga. Dizzy OG think we alive. We alive. Cause I always got that 425. You know I got it. I always got that 425. You know I got it, nigga. You know I keep that 425. Blaze one with me then. Dizzy OG think we alive. Hey.
Word around town, they said me down the road. They ain't never lied. All my bitches fly. April 25.
DFCRadio.com.
Welcome back, DFZ Radio Kitchen Studio, the hydroponic chefs bringing you another farm to table cannabis inspired meal. This week we've got some Thai inspired chicken lettuce wraps. We're going to take some chicken, ground that up. We've got some spicy Thai chilies and some cannabis infused olive oil from our good friends over at Sibo Olive Oil. We're going to chop up some cabbage and some farm fresh vegetables, pull all those flavors together for a cannabis infused Thailand feast. Let's get started on our prep. We've got this chicken that we're gonna put in the freezer after we chop it up. It's gonna make it a lot easier to grind when we put it through the food processor for our ground chicken. This is nice and chopped up, real easy. Let's throw this in a bowl.
And then we'll place it right into the freezer.
So now that our chicken's in the freezer, we're gonna finish up our prep for the vegetables. These peppers were all grown on our hydroponic garden, and the nice thing about hydroponic peppers is they're actually their own defense. But if you need to boost your defense for your garden, you can use a product for control called Prevacin. Prevacin is derived from capsum. It's a chili oil based product. It'll prevent the bugs from being able to be on your plant, and it's also going to kill them and prevent them from coming back. Now we've also got some peppers, some green onions, some garlic, and some ginger. Now let's finish up chopping up these vegetables, and we'll saute up some of that ground chicken and pull it all together for this Thai infused cannabis feast. Now let's take some cilantro, we'll chop this up nice and fine, we'll get this into our dish right at the very end of the cooking. Now you could use basil, any type of classic Thai flavored herb is gonna work great in this dish. So we'll finish chopping this up and then we're gonna move on and chop up some cabbage. And then we're gonna take the cabbage, and we've got two different types of cabbage. We've got the red and the green. I'm gonna slice that up really thin, and after we saute our vegetables and our ground chicken, we'll throw in the cilantro and the cabbage at the very end, and it'll add some crispness to this dish. All that will round off these flavors with this cannabis infused chicken lettuce wrap. So we got our cabbage chopped up and all our peppers and onions chopped up. Now let's take our lettuce. This is gonna be used to hold the chicken. Let's give it a little smash. That'll take out that middle piece right there. And then we've got a nice little surface that we can put our ground up chicken in. We've got our chicken out of the freezer. It's gonna be a lot easier to put through the food processor. We'll grind it up, it'll get a nice consistency. Then we're gonna take it over to the stovetop and we're gonna saute this with all our spices. So let's grind this up. So we've got our ground up chicken ready. We've got our stovetop preheated. We're gonna take about 3 tablespoons of this cannabis infused Sibo olive oil, and that's cannabis infused virgin olive oil. Then we're gonna take our ground chicken and we're gonna put it right into that pan. And you know you got it right when you got that sound. We're gonna let that chicken brown almost till it's complete. Then we're gonna throw in our peppers, our garlic, our ginger. Then right before we take this off the stovetop, we're gonna throw in our cabbage and our cilantro. So our chicken's almost finished up. It's got all of the browning that it's gonna get. Now we're gonna throw in our garlic. We're gonna throw in our ginger. But right before you add the ginger, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of this dry curry. We're gonna mix that up, kind of wetting it up, and that's almost gonna be like a ginger curry paste that we're gonna throw in. Then, you get in your peppers, and we're gonna throw in 2 of these spicy Thai chilies. And let all these flavors take hold. We'll deglaze the pan with a little bit of white rice wine vinegar and about a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup at the most of some hoisin sauce. That's a plum-based flavored sauce. Gonna add some sweetness and a little bit of savory. And we'll pull all these flavors together, add a little bit of that cannabis-infused olive oil for a Thai cannabis-infused feast. So we're walking it up. We've got our spicy peppers in there. We've got our ground chicken, our red peppers. Now we're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of this rice wine vinegar. Deglaze the pan with that. Then we're gonna throw in our hoisin sauce. Add all of our cabbage, green onions, and we'll throw the cilantro in at the end. Now we've got our chicken done. We're gonna add a little bit of the cilantro to there. We're gonna finish it with some of this lime. That's gonna bring all those flavors together. Now we can put this on a platter, and you're gonna use that lettuce basically as the transport device for this. And then you're gonna put some of this chicken right onto the top of that lettuce, sprinkle it with a little bit of a sriracha or maybe some more hoisin sauce and some of those beautiful Thai chilies. And we've got the chicken ready to be plated up. We've got these beautiful pieces of lettuce. We're gonna get some of that chicken mixture with some of those spicy peppers right in there. And if you wanna win your very own magical butter machine, you can make your own medicated meals at home. Comment on this week's recipe section, the cannabis-infused chicken and lettuce wraps, and you can win your very own magical butter machine. From DFZ Radio and the good folks over at Magical Butter Machine. Hydroponic chef approved, dfzradio.com. And we're back. Farm to Table Cannabis. We're cooking food. We're smoking cannabis. What'd y'all think of my motherfucking lettuce wraps? Can I rap or what? Saint, can I rap? Bars.
You can rap.
Irrit. So, sorry. Those cookies really got to me.
No, honestly, I'm like hungry for real food, so I'm just like, maybe I'll just eat another cookie. Even though that's never a good idea, but you know.
Yeah, because weed makes you hungry, and then you want to eat more, and then you eat more edibles. So y'all think about what you're promoting next. I'm going to take a phone call right here, okay? Farm to Table Cannabis, thanks for calling. Who we got?
Jay.
Jay. Is it bad motherfucking Jay from L.A.?
That motherfucking Jay from LA, baby.
Man, you were out at the Saturday Night Bites event, dude. Did you get to try some food?
Hell yeah, man. I got to try some bomb-ass fucking stoner food, bro.
What do you think of Rudy's Lumpias?
With the what?
What do you think of Rudy's egg rolls?
I thought Rudy's egg rolls was pretty good. They're dank.
That's right. I think they were the star of the show, honestly. They were really a problem, dude. People were beating him over the head for those things.
I got some for breakfast. I had to take some to go there.
I think Jay was one of those people that thought my food was a dessert. He laughing because he knows it's true. Fuck. I fooled a bunch of stoners that night on accident. And then
I thought it was dessert.
And did you get to try Chef Jen's ribs and the elote?
I had her rib. I didn't have her elote.
The ribs were fire. They had a little bit. Was that Chinese spice?
It was.
I picked that up the second I tasted. I looked at her and I said, "Is that Chinese?" And not a lot of people do that. That's on the ribs. That's unique right there. That's a very specific East meets West flavor. I like it.
They were good.
everything was bomb.
So you got a question for us, or are we just catching up? Because I miss you.
No,
I really do.
I miss you too, Chef. I was thinking about you today when I was in the hydro store.
Oh, where you shop at?
Shit, man, I shop all over. But
He don't want to give any information out. Don't you be trying to find Jay out there, motherfuckers.
I just left Hydro Inc. on
Yep,
Montclair.
out there in Montclair. Yep, shout out to the boys out there. Ryan, big guy out there holding it down. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. They
So-
hit me up.
So what you got? What kind of question you got?
Oh, well, I love the garden, but I actually had a cooking question after listening to the show today. You guys were talking about souffling the food, and like you, Chef, I've never done that before. So, I'm a picky eater, though, bro. So, you guys said when you souffle the food that it leaves it colorless,
Yeah, so the sous vide is cooking it in water in like a receptacle of some sort. Most of the time it'll be a bag. You could use a turkey bag, but most people use the specific sous vide bags. And
It's like a vacuum seal. Just
yeah.
Usually everybody has like a vacuum sealer sitting around.
In Peep Game, you'll throw a whole bunch of marinade in there or something, or a compound butter, or maybe a little cannabis-infused olive oil. And then, Jen, take it away. What do you do from there?
And then you make sure the bag's sealed, and then you attach it to a pot that's on your stove. You set the sous vide machine on your temperature, and you kind of just set it and forget it.
So
you walk away.
So you set it in there, and then once the temperature is in, once the temperature has been reached, the internal temperature, how do you know?
Yep, it beeps.
It beeps.
Beeps.
What beeps?
The machine, the sous vide machine.
Oh, sick.
So
sick.
it keeps a consistent temperature.
Jay might
for the
rap,
whole
but I don't
time.
think he beeps.
And, and then it's done.
That's
okay. So you guys, like how, like in your cooking demo, Chef, how you darken the meat by searing it a little bit.
That's what you would do after you take it out of the plastic
Yeah.
bag and it's already reached the temperature you want to cook it at. You would just flash sear it.
So let's say you were making some like lobster tails. You set the temperature to what you want it to be, or whatever recipe you're following. When it's done, you take it out. I would just, either throw some avocado oil or a little bit of butter with that, and then just sear it real fast on both sides, and or a fillet or whatever you're doing.
Keep it real simple, because I know you mentioned texture is a big thing when you eat, and a lot of people don't want their food just boiled in water, soaked in,
Right, exactly.
and you lose a lot of those nutrients when you boil it, food and you cook food. So this is really sealing in a lot of that flavor and those nutrients too.
Yep.
So speaking of nutrients, man, great question. We're gonna hook you up with some General Hydroponics. I got some of that biomarine for you. That's cold processed sea squid. Got the highest plant building protein in the animal kingdom. You can use this as a foliar feed. You could use this as a root drench. It's got all the amino acids you need for your plant, so your plant doesn't have to work so hard to build them themselves. It's going to help increase your resin, your oil, your shine. It's got nitrogen in there. Great for veg, great for bloom. General Organics, Biomarine.
Thanks, baby. I really appreciate it, Hydro Chef. You're the best.
Hell yeah, we appreciate you calling in, Jay. Who's hooking you up every Tuesday night?
DFZ Radio and the Shy Hydro Chef.
That's right, buddy. We got another call. We're going to take this one, and then we're going to see what everyone else got going on. All right, thanks for calling in. Farm to Table Cannabis. Who we got?
We got Top Show for Your Health. We got Flight School in the building, Thomas.
What up, Flight School Thomas? Appreciate you calling in, my dude. Now, you got a question for us, man. You got another GH question here. They're lining them up tonight. What?
Yes,
you
yes,
wanted
yes.
a recipe question, right?
Yes, a recipe question. I just wanted to know, what are the other important additives other than your basics, your base, your PK booster, and your silica and your rapid start? Other than that, what do you need to get you over the hump for to get that stellar results from GH?
Nah, I dig it. All right. So the cool thing about your question is that you covered most of the basics in it, but just to give everyone a rundown that's listening out there, he said he doesn't need the base and he doesn't need like the micro supplements. So there's 16 minerals when you're growing a plant. All right. The micro or the macronutrients are nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. The micronutrients are calcium, magnesium, zinc, iron, boron. You could go down the list. Those ones are the secondary nutrients. So the primary nutrients, the nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus, are available in the base nutrients. That's your Flora Grow, your Flora Series, your Flora Nova, anything with Flora pretty much in the base category. Those ones are all geared towards NPK ratios. Now the supplements you mentioned, like the silica, which is going to help with your cell wall production and help your plant be able to resist diseases, that's going to be a product you're going to use all the way through. Now, as far as getting over the hump and maybe bringing out some of those natural characteristics in the plant, that's a combination of several things.
Okay.
It's not, you can never just use nutrients just to dial your plant in, but what they can do is they can help, enhance natural characteristics. But if your environment is not dialed in, you're not going to be able to get that shine and that resin and that structure you're looking for. So first things first, environmental control. CO2 is really going to help with your plant uptake and the production of what you want is a final bigger yield. Now, when it comes to what I said, enhancing those natural characteristics,
yes,
amino acids are your friend right now. You heard me give some away to our last caller. Amino acids are the building block of life. It's what's responsible for like the shine and the resin and oil production. It's also what's responsible for triggering all kinds of different processes throughout the plant. So amino acid, that's going to be a huge supplement. And a lot of products out there are a base of amino acid from our Botanicare line and General Hydroponics line. So the Hydroplex, that also helps you because it's got PKs, which are phosphorus and potassiums. We mentioned that's part of the macronutrients, but it also has the amino acid and B vitamin in there. So your plant's taking up all these nutrients from that PK we talked about, but it's got the amino acids to help them assimilate that, and it's got the B vitamins to help take that product and your plant not be stressed out from taking up so much food. So things work in conjunction together. Synergistic effects, you can get these effects from things like the Hydroplex and Floralicious Bloom. Floralicious Bloom can be used with any product bloom booster because it helps other products work better. It has humic acid in there along with the amino acids. So humic acid breaks nutrients down and makes them more available to the plant. So there's key factors there. You're giving it amino acid, which is the building block of life. You're giving it PK, which is the food to help build the plant tissues. Then you're also giving it the fulvic acid to help break that nutrient down and make it more available. In addition to that, get some B vitamins so that you're having the complete synergistic effect. And it comes down to the law of the minimums. Everyone pull out their notebook. A plant's a 16-side container.
Listen up.
This is called the law of the minimum. You got 16 sides of this container. Each one of those sides represent one of those nutrients I went over, one of those 16 nutrients. So if one of those nutrients is not to optimum levels, your water is going to drain out that side of the barrel, right? Out of that container. So if you got 16 sides and the nitrogen is low, it's only going to be able to fill up as optimum the nitrogen levels are, or as optimum as the PK levels are. So finding the balance between the PKs, the aminos, the phosphorus, the potassium, the calcium, the magnesium, so much goes into it. And then I'm not even touching your root zone yet. You got to get your root zone in. You got to get the harmonious root life going, because once you get the microbial life going in your root zone, that's going to make more plant food available by helping up with the metabolism of your plant. It's going to help with uptake and, again, enhance the natural characteristics of your plant. So you got good questions, man. And because you asked, I'm going to hook you up with some Floralicious Plus today.
Okay, perfect.
Floralicious.
Is that the one you're stating about?
Yeah, it's got amino acid, B vitamins, sugars to feed your beneficials. It's also got some, what I've mentioned, B vitamin and sea kelp extract in there for plant stress reduction. Just everything all in one bottle.
Perfect.
Thanks for calling in, my man. I really appreciate you, bud. So thanks for listening.
I really appreciate you being here for the community.
Yeah, well, who's hooking you up every Tuesday night?
All right, thank you. It's DFZ Radio and Hydro Chef all day.
That's right, baby. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right, peace.
Bye.
We like talking gardening. We like talking cooking. And that's what we do every week. We're giving this to you. All you got to do is pay attention. You ain't got to pay no money. DFZradio.com. Sus, where can they find your brownies?
You can find them on my Instagram at sus.bakes. Go ahead and shoot me a DM, and I can make sure that you get your brownies. I also do cakes. I've been specializing in medicated cheesecakes lately, but, I can do a good old 3-layer vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, anything you want.
All right, she likes it. She's mixing it up. All right, and Layla, how can they get a hold of you for cannabis events?
Stoned Layla on Instagram. You'll find me there.
And all of us are real lit. And look at Chef Jen. She's holding it together for us. She's like the most soberest one in the room right now. We're all fucked up. So what's the next event you got planned? We going to do the Saturday Night Bites too?
We are. I think we're all just kind of
I'm waiting on Chef Rudy. He'll be walking in any minute now. That's his style. I'm just joking.
figure out the details and go from there.
Respected Chef Rudy.
That'd be good.
That fool's had a hard week, a hard month. So keep an eye out for Saturday Night Bites too. It's going to be in your neighborhood. 5 chefs coming and bring their top products to the cannabis community, and we'll be talking about what you can do to educate and medicate.
Don't forget, Chef Rudy is also going to be doing Tour of Italy at the end of this month, and that's going to be at Cafe Colato. You can get tickets at his Instagram at Cannabis Catered Events, and that's going to be really cool. It's a 5-course dinner with each infused course paired with a different element of cannabis, and you got me, Chef Sus, doing the surprise dessert.
Well done, Chef. All right. We'll have to have the Chef Sus takeover someday. All right. So, HDOG, thanks for providing the smoke this evening and being a good co-host. You got me lit as shit, as always. I walk out of this studio and I'll have to sit down for a couple hours before I can even call an Uber. And so, Saint, thanks for making us look good every week. And thanks to all our sponsors, DFZ Radios. Couldn't do this without y'all. For Farm to Table Cannabis, to the Heavy Tea Show, to the Plug. So support your brands, Botanicare, GH, and Magical Butter Machine. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis.
Hydro make me feel fine, roll up that hydro. Hydro make me feel fine, hook up that hydro. Hydro make me feel high, feeling so high. Roll up that hydro. Hydro make me feel fine, roll up that hydro. Hydro make me feel fine, hook up that hydro. Hydro make me feel high, feeling so high. Chefs in the kitchen and they chopping up.
We're going to take some chicken, brown that up. We've got some spicy Thai chilies and some cannabis-infused olive oil from our